Hey friends, Sean from Draft Therapy here, and on today's review for you, I am not liable if you're not wearing safety goggles. Lab Flasks is an 8.5% double IPA from Equilibrium Brewery in Middletown, New York. Ever since Equilibrium made its debut in the state, I've been anticipating a collaboration between them and HOMES Brewery in Ann Arbor because their styles are they're so like homogenous. They work together so well. Now, the first time EQ was available here in 2019, it was right around the time that HOMES had their first Nucleate Beer Festival, which ironically is coming up again this June. Now, with both breweries being masters of all things IPA, I'm excited to see just what this one has in store. So let's get to it. But first, I'd like to thank my executive producers, Brian Kramer, David Jeffries, Vinny Cat, and Cam Freeman, for helping to bring this review to you today. If you'd like to become a producer, help out the channel, or maybe just throw me a couple bucks to buy me a beer, take a look at my Patreon at patreon.drafttherapy.com, where you can get early access to these videos and a few other special perks available only to patrons. If you don't want to contribute monetarily, I totally understand, but just share the video to your friends. Let's widen the net. Let's get the word out there. So let's take a look at the label here. We'll start at the front. And yeah, this is a really interesting label. What we have is kind of a bit of a cross between Equilibrium's kind of signature style and HOME's signature style. We have like basically a pattern or a geometric pattern. It's not really geometric, but we have a bunch of these different Erlenmeyer flasks on the front here. They're warped, so the top and the bottom look like they're kind of lens flared out, and in the middle it's a bit like it's like a pincushion effect where they've been kind of pinched towards the center. We have the symbols for both Equilibrium, which is like the circle, the brushstroke circle. We have the geometric triangle shape, which is HOME's label. Underneath that in white, it says Lab Flasks, Double India Pale Ale, 8.5% alcohol by volume. If we turn it to the side here, it says, help us ensure cold chain. Purchase cold, trade cold, keep cold. If it's not cold, ask why. Now, this one actually wasn't cold on my local shelves, but I didn't ask about it. This one shows it was canned on April 4th, 2022. On the side, it says Lab Flasks, Double India Pale Ale, 1 pint, 8.5% alcohol by volume. And underneath that, it lets you know that this is a collaboration with HOMES Brewing, brewed and canned at Equilibrium Brewery in Middletown, New York. The government warning, and then the hashtag Think New York, Drink New York. The independent craft beer logo lets you know the deposit here, and drink fresh and recycle. So yeah, this is you know, to my knowledge, this is the first time. You may have seen this hanging out on the edge of the frame. This is my HOMES Tiku glass from the first year's membership. This is the first time I can think of, like, in really any time that I've ever seen an actual HOMES, anything with a HOMES symbol on store shelves. So I think that's kind of exciting. I don't think they're going to be moving to distribution. I don't think you're going to see stuff on shelves from them, but I think it's kind of cool to see that they actually have, you know, people that can buy Equilibrium beer. I don't know where the distribution is here totally, but I like that you can get a HOMES beer, or at least something that HOMES had a hand in, just on your normal shelf. I'm going to show you the overhead. You're going to be able to see what I see here. It looks very yellow out of the can. It looks pretty murky. Let's go. Oh, I got to put a nose on it. I almost forgot. Got ahead of myself. Has a really dank aroma, but also has a bit of a tropical, has a bit of a sweet kind of smell in there. Has kind of a floral note to it, and I almost pick up like a flowery, Flour kind of smell in there as well. And I've picked that up from a few of HOMES things in the past before, and Equilibrium. So let's go ahead and pour this. Coming out a really pale, kind of murky yellow. Letting it collect in the glass here. On the stream, it's very murky looking, and on the pour itself, it's coming out as a bit of a kind of a little bit of a bright yellow. Especially to you guys, it looks very light, like almost like pineapple juice. To me, it has a bit more of that kind of yellowish hue, but a little bit more darker brown, or not dark brown, but a little bit darker yellow towards the middle. I'm getting about 1 finger of head, a really nice bright white head, lots of dense compact bubbles, lots of little, even the big bubbles on here aren't very big. So let's go ahead and hold it up to the light here and see what we see. Again, to you, it looks very pale, very like almost pineapple juicy. To me, it looks a little bit darker, and I can barely see a shadow, the shadow of my fingers through the light here. So I'm anticipating this is going to have a pretty, you know, nice mouthfeel. Let's put a nose on it. On the glass, again, it has kind of that floral note to it. It has that sweetness. It just has a really kind of intriguing flavor, or I'm sorry, aroma. I haven't tasted it yet. An intriguing aroma, and I'm almost kind of anticipating like what the flavor is going to be. It has a tropical note to it as well. Let's go ahead and try it out, and we'll see what it is. Cheers. On this channel, we always talk about the mouthfeel first. The mouthfeel is actually a little bit kind of thicker. It's very soft. It's very pillowy. It's very just kind of viscous. It has a nice, just that kind of hazy IPA, New England style IPA flavor or mouthfeel that you would expect. Let's talk about the flavor. 8.5% lab flasks. It has a really nice sweet flavor. It does have those kind of notes of tropical, those pineapple kind of notes to it. Pineapple's been a big flavor in IPAs. In New England styles or IPAs are so hard to kind of differentiate. It seems like IPAs these days are just New England's and IPAs are like the same thing, but it has like pineapple's been a flavor that's been really dominant, it seems like, in the past year, especially leading up to last summer. This has that same kind of pineapple flavor to it, but it also has real like nice tropical notes to it. So it has a nice kind of in the sun, laying out, beer that you're going to drink kind of feel to it. I know that that's, feeling and beer are two different things, but it makes me kind of reminisce about that kind of activity. Whereas I'm not really a beach guy. You can tell I don't have a super spectacular tan, but I know what it's like. It has a really nice sweet, like really upfront. It has those real tropical notes. There's not really any bitterness to speak of. Maybe a little bit on the finish, but it does give me a lot of those kind of tropical vibes. You get that pineapple, you get that tropical kind of flavor. There is again a little bit of a floral kind of note to it that comes up. There is bitterness. It is in there. It is very smooth. It's on the aftertaste. It's like it hangs out on the middle of your tongue on the aftertaste on the swallow. Admittedly, I haven't picked up like a million different Equilibrium kind of beers, but I've tried several different beers from Homes. And it does kind of capture, I feel like it captures a lot between the two different breweries. I do feel like it picks up or it captures a lot of Equilibrium's kind of, I don't know, their kind of philosophy or whatnot towards IPAs. I don't want to come across sounding too much like an ass, but it also has those kind of tropical notes that I kind of expect sometimes to get more out of home. So it really does seem like a really good blend of the two different styles. I don't know like how big the involvement was Homes with this. I don't know if the whole kind of team went out to New York to kind of test this, but I know that they've kind of developed quite a friendship between the two breweries. And I feel like it is a good representation between the two different styles. You're getting a lot of that tropical note. You're getting the tropical kind of stone fruit flavor comes through a little bit more than the pineapple, but the pineapple definitely is in there. The floral kind of bitterness, the floral note that comes through on the finish is kind of really intriguing too. I would say that if you are an EQ fan, definitely pick this one up. If you are a Holmes fan and you haven't been able to try, and I mean, like I said, I was kind of shocked to see that something from Holmes was actually hitting shelves because I can't think in the entire time that I've been doing this channel or doing these reviews, and Holmes has been around like almost in parallel to the entire time that I've been doing it. I think they started maybe like 2 months before I started doing videos, and I was like there on the first day and there the second day, like two times in that opening weekend. Um, it just seems like a really nice meld between the two, and I've never seen Holmes beer on the shelf. So if you're a Holmes fan and you're intrigued, or you're an Equilibrium fan and you've heard a lot about Holmes before in the past, it's definitely a pickup if you have, or if you're an IPA fan of any kind, and especially if you're in that kind of New England style wheelhouse. This is definitely a beer to pick up just to try and see how the two styles have melded together. Me personally, I really enjoy this beer. I do like that it has a nice kind of cohesion between the two breweries. If you're up on these two breweries at all, I think it's worth a pickup. And it's also really worth it if you've been trading for Homes in the past or EQ in the past. It's a nice collaboration between the two, something to try. All right, friends, that has been Lab Flasks from Equilibrium Brewery in collaboration with HOMES Brewery in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Have you had this one yet? Have you made it to HOMES' new campus? And who's your favorite brewery kicking out IPAs? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm interested in trying them out. But while you're down there, if you like beer, you might want to subscribe and click that bell. I'm here talking about beer twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's all for free for viewers just like you. And you might miss your newest favorite if you're not subscribed and getting those notifications. So until next time, I'm Sean from Draft Therapy. Thanks for stopping by. Remember, drink craft beer, support your local breweries, and most importantly, don't forget to treat yourself to a little draft therapy. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time. Cheers.